Hello, fellow Disney Plus watchers. So glad you're joining today. Welcome to Your Thoughts, where I'll be reading and responding to what you thought about the latest Disney Plus episodes and movies. Before we begin, if you want to join in next time, just drop your thoughts on any of my review videos throughout the week and add D+ at the top of your comment so that I know you consent and agree that I'll be adding your words into the mix here. I'll not be responding to your comment in written form when it's submitted like this. This week, we're talking about Obi Wan Kenobi, and one last comment about Moon Knight in reaction to the video on last week's assembled episode. And if you're not interested to talk about both of these, there are timestamps within this video to skip ahead to Obi-Wan, because we're first going to talk about a little bit about Moon Knight. So Random Guy 1001 writes, in this documentary they talked a lot about how this is really a character story, which is a blessing and a curse. The story and character arc of Mark and Steven was really good, but they focused on that so much that I didn't really care about the plot, and that really shined through in the last episode when the character arc was pretty much over and they were mostly just wrapping up the plot. And I gotta agree with your sentiment, Random Guy, for 90%, because that 10% is me saying, wow, but I did really, within the show, that aspect, that Tomb Raider slash adventure slash Indiana Jones slash Egyptian mystique stuff, that plot-related through line of Moon Knight did really grab me throughout episode 3, 4, But in the last episode, it just fell apart for me. It felt like like a very cheap beginning of 2000 age superhero movie where they didn't really know yet how to make great superhero movies. It felt like a cheap episode. I don't know. It didn't grab me at all. And yes, it is a tale of two finales. It is a tale of two finales because we have one of the best Disney Plus episodes ever, I think, where we fully wrap up the emotional arc for Mark. The arc for Mark. That's I could hang that on a wall. Because that episode was so good, the next episode was doomed to, and I was worried about it when it came out, was doomed to be a disappointment. So I understand your statement and I agree with it for 90%. So let's move on to Obi-Wan. Stefan Catharasu writes, I like how Order 66 is becoming this pivotal point of reference that is being retold from different viewpoints in Star Wars, just as the blip is in the MCU. It was breathtaking in Clone Wars Season 7, and I think the flashback at the beginning of Episode 1 was pretty good too. I really hope there is some tie-in with Reva and Obi-Wan Kenobi. The Grand Inquisitor cannot have died as he would appear in Rebels, which takes place much later. Throwback to Darth Maul being sliced in half and coming back in Clone Wars. Good comparison, by the way. First of all, the blip and this Order 66. Yeah, what was so great about that opening scene to me? I thought about it a little bit. It was within the story we see this Jedi protect her younglings in an overwhelming, chaotic moment of crisis. Right? It's chaos, but the choreography itself is so smooth, slick, and well panned, and with the camera movements and her movements, it is so tight. The choreography, even though within the story, within the scene, it is so overwhelmingly chaotic. So that's what, for me, makes it such a powerful scene. So yeah, and about the Grand Inquisitor, I totally agree with you. I don't like that this is becoming a Marvel death. And I mean, let's see what happens. I mean, I hope they do something cool with it. Like, his stomach needs some recalibration and some rebuilding, or something that happened with Fennec and Boba Fett. If they tie something in the show where this means something going forward, and he can still live, and then maybe we have to see everything to know for sure, right? Or at least most of it, or more of it. I hope it's something like that, but I fear it's just a Marvel death, and it was used to give Reva that moment of look how cool she is and how she stands up for herself. And I guess we can use a moment like that, but it doesn't have to involve the Grand Inquisitor dying. That's just a Marvel move I don't like here. So let's move on. The Jesus writes, I thought the episodes were both pretty solid. The main standout to me was Joel Edgerton as Owen. I think he just does a really good job at capturing the character's vibe. The Order 66 flashback really took me by surprise, and the homeless clone was such a welcome cameo. I also was expecting Reva to be annoying, but she was actually not bad at all. I am really looking forward to the rest of the episodes. It was also fabulous to see McGregor back again. And yes, the Jesus, I look forward to it too. I suspect that I'm going to love this show moving forward more and more and more, just like I did with Moon Knight and some of the other shows. Because right now I'm giving it a thumbs up. I like it. It's not beautiful or amazing or No, it's just I'm enjoying it. But about Owen Lars, what I really liked about his character because now that we had some time to think about the episodes, I realized something. The quote, "I didn't do it for you," that Owen says right after he's confronted by Reva and she's gone, and that hit me later on because a few scenes before he's like, "I don't want anything to do with you, Obi-Wan. You just want to know if he's showing, but I don't want you in my life. I don't want you. Luke is my responsibility." So it's two, it's a father and a stepfather arguing about their child. It's obviously that dynamic. He protects Obi-Wan in that scene with Reva for Luke. He doesn't do it for Obi-Wan, he does it for Luke. So what does that mean? A part of him, a part of Owen does feel that Obi-Wan should take care of Luke for at least part of it. So a part of Owen really does need Obi-Wan. And I thought that was beautiful when I realized that this weekend. So that's what I really particularly like about Owen. And oh my god, yes, thank you for bringing it up again. It's my favorite scene of the show so far, the homeless clone. And I screamed at my TV. I was like, "Oh, no." Oh, for me it was really emotional. For some people it is, wow, a cool cameo. I really like the world building there and that we see once again Tamara Morrison, and they did a good job on that. Yes, it's a good scene, but no, it's more than that. It's more than that. And Obi-Wan's reaction, it really hit me like, no, please don't show me this. It really hurts. I really had that reaction. You're talking about Reva, that you expected her to be annoying and she was not bad. I didn't expect anything. I held my expectations at the door. No, but I think she's good. She's a good character and she has really good dialogue and she adds to the dynamic of the Inquisitors being interesting, blah, 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 blah. I like the character. What I realized, because I said in my review, like, there are moments that I find cringy and I couldn't put my finger on it yet what it was. I really like the character and there's so much potential, and I like that she's completely like Kylo Ren, like completely ruthless and out of control. I really think Kylo Ren is a good comparison, at least Kylo Ren in The Force Awakens. But there was some moments or looks or acting moments, and it was Moses Ingram. It's not the script, it's not the direction. I really think it's Moses Ingram who's just a little bit awkward. And I was going through my screenshots before preparing this video, and I found this one, and I thought, yes, this face is the only thing I think there is wrong with the character Reva, and that is just a little bit of an annoying aura around her, a cringy aura. I don't know. Am I reading too much into it? I have loads of respect for anyone who can handle a role in Star Wars, but no, this wasn't, no, that part of it. So let's move on. Pawan, oh man, how do I pronounce this? Pawan Gangas writes, "I think Obi-Wan is an unnecessary show, and even if they want to do that time period's struggle of Obi-Wan, it would have been better as a movie, because I think TV budget is gonna let it down, or it's the stagecraft technology that makes it feel this way. I don't know." Also, what are your thoughts on Anakin reveal at the end? Do you think we will get some Clone Wars flashback? And okay, so maybe it would have been better as a movie. I think maybe you're even right, because the second episode is, if that was in the movie Obi-Wan, that would have been 10 minutes. That would have been a set piece. They would have condensed that into 10 minutes or something. I really believe that. It's not that eventful of an episode in that respect. So I think that the stagecraft technology is amazing. I love it. I think it looks really good most of the time, and it's gotten better, because in season 1 of The Mandalorian, you had that problem that sometimes still pops up, that you see in the edges of the screen, that fisheye lens kind of effect, but then only on the edges of the screen, and that is the curvature of the volume at play. And when you know, sometimes in a pan, especially in movements of the camera, sometimes the image becomes very flat because it follows the curvature of the volume, but it cannot really keep up with the curvature, if you know what I mean. So then in the pan, in the movement of the camera, it becomes suddenly very flat and without depth. I think that's the best way to describe it. Comment down below if you know what I mean, because it's really interesting. This is the first time I actually, right on the spot, think about how I could put it into words. And my thoughts on Anakin reveal, yeah, I don't have many thoughts besides, wow, is that Hayden? Really? Really, is that Hayden? That was my first thought, and it is Hayden. I know it is. I hope we don't see him helmetless too much, but I like what I saw. it is a good cliffhanger. That's all I got for you. It's just cool. And about the Clone Wars flashback, I didn't follow the leaks. I wanted to be surprised about stuff, so I didn't know about Leia or whatever. I think it's a coin toss because we already got a flashback in the Nightmare of Obi-Wan, but it was just footage, archive footage. It is a coin flip. We probably get some type of flashback. If we get a real new flashback between Hayden and Obi-Wan or something like that, that is a coin toss to me. Yeah, let's move on to the last comment about Random Guy 1001 writes, I loved the episodes. Ewan McGregor's acting is great, and Obi-Wan's character development is really done well, in my opinion. There are a few small nitpicks, but overall I loved these episodes, and they really felt like Star Wars. Great that you loved it. I also really like it, and yes, Ewan McGregor is the standout performer in this. That's, to me, really obvious, and I loved, one of the acting moments I really loved was, once again, the homeless clone trooper scene. How he reacts to that, you immediately see his trauma pop up. He's really spooked. And it just really added to my, it was a horror to watch that scene. So I like talking about that scene and Ewan McGregor's acting. Wow. And yeah, so far for a sandwiched show that's really unnecessary in terms of, it was never the plan to make this, and they really have to throw some tangents, blah, 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 blah. For what it is, they really found something in Obi-Wan's character to go on. So in terms of character, I agree. They are doing a good job. A good enough job, at least. So that's all I've got for you this week. If you like this video and you want to chime in next time, then all you have to do is add D+ on the top of your comment on one of the upcoming videos next week. Feel free, and thanks everybody who replies. You keep the discussion alive. I appreciate it. I'm thinking about wrapping this up. I'll of course be back this Wednesday with the 3rd episode of Obi-Wan, and Friday with the movie Hollywood Stargirl. So let's look out for that. And for now, have a wonderful day, and see ya.